important question as well. Scholars have noted that F. Scott's writings were likely influenced in part by his marriage to Zelda. But what's after the contradictor is very important. But many do not. This is the issue. This is why the writer is writing the text. This is why the writer is writing at least sentence one. But many do not recognize Zelda as a writer in her own. So why? What is the main focus of sentence one? Is it about F. Scott Fitzgerald or is it about Zelda? Mainly, it is about, of course, excellent. Yes, great. There is deep understanding the text now. Of course, the first sentence is mainly about Zelda. The piece of information about the score is important. We cannot deny that. But we write the text to convey what's after the contradictor mainly. We inform before the contradictor, we inform. I inform you, reader, but my purpose is to convey what's after the contradictor. Like, yeah, some scholars noted that, but I'm writing this sentence to tell you that many do not recognize Zelda as a writer in her own. Indeed, and here comes indeed. We emphasize a piece of information about Zelda or F. Scott that is about Zelda still. Indeed, Zelda authored several works herself, such as the novel Save Me the Waltz and numerous short stories. Why did the writer write sentence two? To support the general in sentence one. Many do not recognize Zelda as a writer in her own. Zelda authored several works herself. Well, thus, yes, this is conditional now. This is our riddle. After I informed you of these two valuable pieces of information, those guys who primarily view Zelda as just an inspiration for her husband's writings. Do what? After that discussion, how can you describe the guys who view Zelda as just an inspiration for F. Scott's writings? You choose. Well, here we go. There must be evidence to evaluate an answer as valid or invalid. May draw inaccurate conclusions about how F. Scott view Zelda, how Zelda view F. Scott. My question is there a single word in the text? Single word that discusses how F. Scott viewed his wife, how his wife viewed him? Just a single word. We are talking about scholars, how scholars view the thing, and how the writer of the text view the thing, right? But did we mention anything about how F. Scott, Zelda viewed each other works? There is pure invalid inference. Ask yourself, after choosing like the answer, do we have evidence or no? Answer choice D. Tend to read the works of F. Scott and Zelda in autobiographical light. Did we mention anything about the genre? Or the style, the writing style? Still wrong. Answer choice A. Those guys who view Zelda as just an inspiration for F. Scott's writings overlook many factors that motivated F. Scott to write. How did you know? Is our discussion in the text about F. Scott or Zelda? This is about Zelda. Did we discuss the factors that motivated F. Scott to write? Not mentioned. So how did you know that we have like even other factors? How did you know? We didn't mention anything about factors here about F. Scott. We just mentioned the thing about F. Scott. As we stated, F. Scott's writings were influenced in part by his marriage to Zelda. And then I mentioned a problem. The problem, guys, the problem is a problem about factors influence F. Scott or about Zelda or how people view Zelda. That is about how people view Zelda. So that is not a logical completion because it does not emerge logically from the hot discussion. The hot discussion is about Zelda, not about F. Scott and the factors that inspired F. Scott. That can be completion of another text, but not the text we just read. The text we just read is about Zelda, the effect on Zelda, not the effect on F. Scott. That's why overlook the many other factors that motivated F. Scott to write. That is not the core of the discussion. That is, and you must be familiar with that. We have core of the discussion. Core. The core here is Zelda and how people misrepresent the full range of Zelda. How people see Zelda's contribution as just an inspiration to F. Scott. How people belittle the role of Zelda. Zelda authored many books, many novels, That is the core of the discussion. But this answer choice about factors motivated F. Scott is peripheral issue that just touches the edge of the discussion. Edge. This is peripheral answer. Peripheral. Because you may think this way. I see the mentioning of the FSCA and writings here, but it still is wrong. Yes, because it does not emerge from the discussion in the text. It may be related to part of a sentence. While answer choice B is related to the core of the discussion. If you view Zelda as just an inspiration for F. Scott's writings, you risk misrepresenting the full range of Zelda's contribution to literature that touches the core of the discussion.